The most expensive place on earth isn't a bank. It isn't a palace. It isn't Silicon Valley. It isn't Dubai. It's a cemetery, because beneath the ground lie books that were never written, companies that were never built, ideas that were never shared, dreams that never became reality, and lives that were never fully lived. Most people think cemeteries are filled with those who died, but perhaps they're also filled with people who never truly began living. 2:14 a.m. A small room. A laptop glows in the darkness. A folder sits on the desktop. Business plan, final version. Created 742 days ago. He opens it, reads a few pages, changes a sentence, closes the file. Tomorrow, he whispers. Tomorrow. Across the city, a young woman opens an old journal. The first page says, "This year will change my life." The second page is empty. She reaches for another notebook. Different color, different year, the same promise. What if the biggest reason people never become who they were meant to be isn't failure? What if it's the quiet habit of always waiting for tomorrow? People call them lazy, undisciplined, unmotivated. But what if they're wrong? What if the real battle is happening somewhere no one can see, inside the human mind? Imagine a boy. His name doesn't matter, because, if we're honest, this story belongs to millions of people. As a child, he believed he would change the world. He dreamed of building something meaningful, writing a book, starting a company, helping people, leaving behind a life that mattered. Every night, his future looked beautiful. Every morning, he whispered, "One day." Asterisk. One day became next week. Next week became next month. Next month quietly disappeared into another year. Without realizing it, he slowly became someone who collected dreams instead of living them. Here's what's strange. Dreams don't always move people forward. Sometimes, they become the perfect hiding place. The human brain is extraordinary, but its first priority isn't success. Its first priority is survival. It prefers certainty over possibility, the familiar over the unknown. Every new beginning comes with uncertainty. A business, a YouTube channel, a difficult conversation, a new career. To you, they look like opportunity. To your brain, they also look like danger. And your brain is clever. It almost never says, "Don't do it." Instead, it whispers, "Not today. Learn a little more first. Wait until you're fully ready. Start when everything is perfect." It sounds wise, responsible, even mature, which is exactly why most people never question it. But here's the trap. Your mind can reward imagination before you've earned reality. Have you ever spent hours planning your future, watching inspirational videos, organizing your goals, imagining the person you want to become, and somehow felt productive, even though nothing in your life actually changed? You're not imagining it. Studies in psychology suggest that vividly imagining success and repeatedly planning for it can activate parts of the brain's reward system. Your mind can briefly experience the emotional satisfaction of future success before you've taken the first real step. Slowly, planning begins to feel like progress. Preparation becomes an identity, and action keeps getting postponed. Perhaps this is why the Quran never teaches faith as something that lives only inside the heart. Again and again, it connects belief with action, not because Allah needs our actions, but because we do. Faith was never meant to remain a beautiful intention. It was always meant to become movement. Maybe your greatest obstacle isn't the dream itself. It's believing that thinking about change is the same as changing. One day, that boy opened a drawer filled with old notebooks. Each one carried the same sentence. This year will be different. Different notebook, different handwriting, different year. The same unfinished beginning. For the first time, he wasn't afraid of failure. He was afraid of something far worse. What if his entire life became a collection of perfect plans that never became reality? The strange thing is, he wasn't the only one. Every day, millions of people wake up carrying dreams they genuinely believe in. They don't lack intelligence. They don't lack potential. Many of them don't even lack ambition. So why do they remain exactly where they are? Maybe because we've been asking the wrong question. We keep asking, why are some people lazy? Perhaps the real question is, why does the human mind resist change, even when change is exactly what we need? The greatest prison in life is rarely built by other people. More often, it's built by the stories we quietly tell ourselves. I'll start after Ramadan. I'll start next Monday. I need a better camera. I need more money. I need another course. I need more confidence. Listen carefully. Some of these reasons are real, but many of them are simply fear, wearing the mask of logic. Fear doesn't always look like panic. Sometimes, fear looks incredibly responsible. It tells you, just prepare a little more. Research a little longer. You're almost ready. Almost. Such a small word. Yet countless lives have been trapped inside it. Psychologists have studied procrastination for years, and one discovery appears again and again. Most procrastination isn't a time management problem. It's an emotion management problem. When a task makes us feel uncertain or exposes us to possible failure, our brain searches for immediate relief. Not because we're weak, because discomfort feels like a threat. So instead of taking the difficult first step, we answer another email, watch another video, organize another folder, buy another notebook. Our mind feels busy, but our future remains untouched. Movement is not always progress. Being busy is not the same as becoming better. Think about that. A rocking chair moves all day, yet it never leaves the room. Many people spend years doing the same thing, moving, without ever moving forward. One afternoon, that young man met an old friend, someone he used to believe wasn't as talented as him. Years ago, they shared the same dreams. Today, they shared two completely different lives. His friend hadn't been smarter. He hadn't been luckier. He had simply started before he felt ready. And suddenly, the painful question appeared. What if the life I wanted wasn't stolen from me? What if I kept postponing it myself? The Quran reminds us of a principle that is both spiritual and deeply practical. Allah does not ask us to control outcomes. He asks us to be sincere in our effort. Results have always belonged to Him, but the decision to take the first step has always belonged to us. Perhaps that is why hope in Islam is never passive. Hope walks. Hope strives. Hope takes the first step, even when the road ahead cannot yet be seen. Maybe the person standing between you and the life you pray for isn't someone else. Maybe it's the version of you that keeps waiting for certainty before choosing courage. There comes a moment in every person's life when they stop asking, what if I fail? And begin asking, what if I never try? Those two questions can lead to two completely different futures. That night, He went back home. He opened the same laptop, the same folder, the same unfinished file. For a long time, he simply stared at the screen. Nothing had changed. Not the room, not the computer, not the file. The only thing that had changed was the question inside his heart. He no longer asked, "Am I ready?" He asked, "How much longer am I willing to remain exactly where I am?" And sometimes, that single question is where a new life begins. The next morning, nothing extraordinary happened. The sun rose, just as it always had. The streets were busy. People hurried to work. The world looked exactly the same. But something inside him had changed. For years, he had been waiting for motivation, waiting to feel confident, waiting for fear to disappear. Now he finally understood something. Courage doesn't come before the first step. Very often, it comes because of it. The life you've been praying for may be waiting on the other side of one uncomfortable decision. He didn't build a company that morning. He didn't become successful overnight. He didn't suddenly become fearless. He simply started. One page, one phone call, one email, one video, one decision. It didn't look impressive. In fact, to anyone watching, it looked ordinary. But history is rarely changed by dramatic moments. More often, it's changed by ordinary people making one extraordinary decision. To begin, weeks passed, then months. Not every day was exciting. Some days, he wanted to quit. Some days, nothing worked. Some days, he questioned everything. But something was different now. He was no longer collecting dreams. He was building them. Slowly, imperfectly, one step at a time. Neuroscience tells us something hopeful. The brain is constantly changing. Every repeated action strengthens neural pathways. Every time you choose action over avoidance, you teach your brain a new pattern. Confidence isn't usually the cause of action. It's often the result of repeated action. The more you move, the less power fear begins to hold over you. Your future isn't shaped by one giant decision. It's shaped by the small decisions you repeat every single day. You don't become the person you dream about. You become the person your daily actions are quietly creating. Perhaps this is why Islam has always honored sincere effort, even before visible success. Because Allah sees what people cannot. The intention, the struggle, the step you took when no one was watching. We often ask Allah to change our lives, but maybe, sometimes, Allah is waiting for us to move our feet while trusting Him with the destination. That is tawakkul, not waiting without action, but walking while placing your heart in the hands of Allah. Remember the cemetery where this story began. Perhaps the greatest tragedy isn't dying. Perhaps the greatest tragedy is carrying your gifts, your ideas, your kindness, your purpose, all the way to your grave, without ever giving them to the world. Because somewhere, there is a person whose life may change, because you finally decided to begin, and they don't even know your name. Yet, one day, your future self will look back at this moment. The only question is, will they thank you or wish you had started sooner? Don't wait for the perfect time. It doesn't exist. Don't wait until fear disappears. It probably won't. Don't wait until you believe in yourself completely. Take one sincere step, then another, and let Allah guide the road that you cannot yet see. Sometimes, the distance between the life you have and the life you dream about isn't measured in years. It's measured by the courage to take the first step. Until the next documentary, let's not just understand the world around us, Let's understand ourselves through the light of the Quran. This is Quranic psychology.